Hey, excuse me. Um, hey guys, how's it going? Just come at you with another video. Yeah, it's been a minute. You haven't seen my face all year and all that. It's been quite a while since my last one, so I just thought I'd check in with you guys, or anybody even watches my channel now, for that matter. So, uh, so, um, so, I guess let's just get down to the chase, really. How y'all doing? Well, how am I doing on the other end of your mask? Uh, I'm hanging in there, mainly. Especially in these trying times. So where I've been, I haven't shown my face in a while. So reason being is, if I'm being honest, really, I just haven't had much interest in quite a while. So I really haven't had, because of it, I really haven't had. Uh, that's why I haven't been putting myself out there. So I'm always keeping up with on YouTube and watching other channels and commenting and all that. But I just haven't really wanted to put myself up there. So that's why I haven't done anything in a while. So, and then I've got a few videos I might want to put out if I ever get around to it. Um, so what have I been up to? Well, just mostly taking care of my dad, moving down, living at home. So some days are more eventful than others. I still go to conventions whenever I can. I've got a few videos I want to put on that. So, and maybe do another video of one I did a few years ago where I'm just do some where I put out a video of some of the products I've bought on Amazon. I at least items I bought at the time I did that video. Um, but yeah, but maybe do another video like that. So, but I've done that. Like I said, I say I do art. I just, like I said, take care of my things at home. Like I said, some days are busy, so others aren't. Um, there's that. Um, uh, eh, Interesting thing. One thing I can tell you is a few months ago, I wound up having COVID again. I had a few back in 2022. That was a few years ago, but I had it again a few months ago, but I got over it. So, and I'm doing all right. So there's that. Um, um, uh, and how was my Christmas? It was fine. I wanted my parents and I, along with a friend of my dad's, we hung out with my uncle Jeff. So there's that. We went to church because I'm Catholic. Uh, um, and uh, and then we again got something to eat afterwards. So there's that. So um, yeah. Um, so and I mentioned earlier that I done a few conventions. Let's see, I did Annapolis Comic Con once more. I've been going since 2022. I did Awesome Con again, and for the second time, I've gone to Baltimore Comic Con. So just a number of there's some conventions I'd like to go to, but just haven't done so yet. But who knows? We'll see what happens. And maybe one day down the road, whenever I decide to, I'll do videos on some of those. But in my experiences, so yeah. Um, yeah. So I guess that's just kind of what's up. I know I'm being kind of vague too, but where and what I've been doing. But so I guess another thing too with it, especially with it being December and close to the end of the year. Well, we had election day a year ago, and sadly, we re-elected Donald Trump. That's fucking cool. We we live in a broken system when we elect that man not once but twice. And we're gonna be feeling his thing for a good long while, even long after that man's out of office. And that's even assuming he makes it all 4 years. And you hear about a lot of the horrific things that have been happening, like what he's been doing on immigration, or foreign policy, or anything else like that. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. But yeah, so but I think another thing too that's been going on with me in my life, and I kind of hate that this happened. That was been on me. I've mentioned before, I haven't been on Facebook. I got perma banned. Well, see, what had happened was November of 2024. There was some negligence of my own. I got my Instagram hacked. I was able to get it back after a month. And around that same time, my Facebook had gotten thrown in Facebook jail for maybe within hours of each other. And I appealed and was successful. And then lasted another month. And then around mid-December of that year, I get hit again. I appealed and I was successful. And took about a day for all those appeals. First couple appeals to get through. And then going back to December, I got hit again after my last appeal, and then I got rejected. It's so for any one of my viewers who was friends with me over there on Facebook, they wondering where the hell have I been? That's why. I've been hanging around on Reddit a lot lately, and for anybody, apparently from what I understand, it's been brought a lot of other people. So I mean, across any meta platform like Facebook, Instagram, and yeah. So it's like, I guess given the current era of AI, I imagine that probably had something to do with it, as opposed to anything I ever did. And assuming it's a case where my profile is still in the system and all my content is like, hey, that's awesome, but just 14 years I've had it, and it's just gone like that. Well, I've heard of ways you could potentially get back, like I said, like I think legal methods like small claims court, legal shield, something like that. At first, I thought maybe it was meta verified, but I don't know. So I don't know. So I just haven't tried to see what I can do about it, and maybe in my vain hope of, or whatever, maybe there's a copium on my end. But if someone comes back to life, that'd be awesome. But until then, I don't know. I mean, how have I felt about that? I mean, emotionally, it's gotten easier, but it was kind of difficult at first. But I guess it's mostly easier-ish. And again, this may be copium, but I'm hoping maybe one day it might just out of the blue come back to life. But I don't know. But yeah. So, but I have a link to all my socials like Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. So if you see my Facebook there, it was my personal profile. Yeah, and if you're wondering, try to open it up and it's a dead link. That's why. So unless I somehow come back, it's going to be a dead link. So, but you can still find me on Instagram though and Twitter. So unless something happens to those profiles, you can find me there. So, but like I said, I still miss it though. At least right now, And part of it is because you maybe just having for as long as I haven't, just using it and keeping in touch with the people over there, that especially those who I can't find anywhere else, at least nowhere that I know of. But I don't know. But so that's what's up. So but yeah, I guess that's really just kind of what's going on with me. So I guess with all that said, I guess for any future content I might have coming up, I have some ideas of what I want to do. Maybe put out videos of with always with regard to some of the conventions I've done this year and last year, and hopefully I can do some for any future conventions to go throughout 2026. So I might do some of those. Hopefully do a couple of other videos. Say, hey, maybe it's some like just item show like, hey, this is what I got. This is what I got. This is what I got. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but we'll see. I've got it in my mind, but just when it actually becomes realized, we'll see what happens. But and if there's any other content you'd like to see from me, drop a comment. Maybe I might potentially. We'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to put out a video while 2025 is still 2025. So, and speaking of which, it was kind of interesting, and with 2026 right around the corner. It's for me. It's I bring this up because it's been 15 years, decade and a half since I finished high school. I remember when it was 5 years in 2015. I remember thinking I kind of it was hard to see it, and because mathematically, like that was divisible by 5, same year. So I guess I have to wait until 2030 when it will be 20 years. So, but yeah, so I don't know how that's relevant. I'm just checking my mind. So, and another thing too is being a February child. I turned 33, so a couple months from now I'm going to be 34. So there's that. So yeah, so I guess with all that said, I guess that was all I gotta say. And if there's anything I'm not thinking about right now, will probably only occur to me after I'm done recording. So it's like, drat, So, but yeah, I guess with all that said, and I guess and I guess since we're talking about like what's happening in the world, I've also heard a lot about like celebrity deaths. So I guess I'm kind of just giving my thoughts on that, especially since I gave my thoughts about politics. Like I know some of the celebrity deaths are like say the late Gene Hackman, Michelle Trachtenberg, Malcolm Jamal Warner, and as of recently, the late Rob Reiner, meathead from All in the Family. So just regardless of how and when, why they all went. No, it's a bitch. It really is. So it's like, especially when it just comes completely out of nowhere. It's like, what? So it's like, yeah. So I guess with all that said, like I said, if there's anything else I can't think of right now, I'll probably think to me after I'm done recording. So I don't mean to be too repetitive. So I guess with all that said, thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I guess I'll see you next time. I'll see you next year. Have a good one, guys. Bye bye.